They say the path of a warrior does not end with his last battle, but with the courage of the one who dares to continue the fight. In every generation, there comes a night when the fire of tradition meets the flame of truth, and from that clash, a new dawn is born. Tonight, I tell you the story of a father ready to die in honor and a son ready to live in truth. A story that whispers across time, reminding us that even when the drums of the old beat loud, the heart of the young may still change the rhythm. So, listen not just with your ears, but with your spirit. For this story may not be about a village long gone, but about you, standing before your own ancestral fire, deciding whether to kneel or to rise. This tale, Death and the Warrior's Heir, is not just about ritual and rebellion. It is about the internal conflict between what has always been and what must now become. Through this story, you will learn how to question without dishonor, how to honor your root while still planting new seeds, and how to stand firm in truth even when your voice trembles. Because in life, there will always be a Dibia Ojuku, a keeper of the old fire, and there will always be an Obidike, a voice that refuses to die quietly. But the question is, when your turn comes, which will you be? The keeper of tradition or the heir of transformation? Tonight, I promise to take you into that sacred square, to let the drum speak, to let the fire burn, and to let your spirit decide. Let's step into the story together. The night in Umweke was heavy with destiny. The torches burned like angry suns. The ancestral drum, carved from the heart of an ancient Iroko, throbbed like a heartbeat, echoing through generations. The Biojuku stood tall, his white robe glowing like moonlight, his staff glittering with the dust of power. Before him knelt Ezenna, the lion of Umweke, proud, still ready to die as the gods decreed. The sun must set, the Dibia declared, for the moon to rise. And the people bowed. The warriors chanted. The air thickened with incense, smoke, and sorrow. But then, through that reverent silence, a storm was born. No! One voice, one flame. A source cry against an ocean of tradition. Obidike, the hay. The blood of the lion, yet roaring against the hunt itself. You call this honor, he cried. You call this tradition. My father still breathes, yet you prepare his grave like a goat for sacrifice. The square froze. Even the drum missed beat, as if unsure whether to follow the gods or the truth. And at that moment, time itself held his breath. Because the boy had spoken the question that every soul feared to ask. Must death always come for the living, just because it once came for the dead? That, my friend, is where true change begins. Not in defiance for its own sake, but in the courage to stay enough. The Dibia's eyes fled. You dare question the ancestors? Obidike stepped forward and questioned the men who hid behind them. A gasp, a storm. The torches trembled as though the spirit themselves inhaled sharply. And in that sacred moment, we see it. The clash between fear and freedom. My brothers, my sisters, have you not seen the same thing in your own life? When you try to change something, a rule, a belief, a pattern, and the word cried, who are you to speak? But listen, the same people who fear change will one day praise your courage for starting it. Ezenna watched his son. The old warrior's heart wrestled between pride and tradition. Then he rose and said, "Enough! Ah, there it is. The moment when love overcomes fear. When a father listens not to the voice of custom, but to the voice of conscience. For even the strongest tree must bow when the wind of truth blows. My son," said Ezenna, "the strength of a warrior is not in his blade, but in his wisdom. The river does not argue with the rock. It finds its path around it. But tell me, what path do you see?" And Obidike, still trembling but firm, replied, "A new path, father. One where our warriors live to teach, not just to be remembered." The boy was right, because what use is victory if it ends in silence? What glory lies in a death that leaves no wisdom behind? The villagers murmured, some called it rebellion, but the wise heard something greater, the birth of renewal. When the young challenge the old with respect, a people find their balance again. A tradition that cannot evolve is a curse dressed as culture. The Dibia gripped his staff, furious. "You walk a dangerous path, boy," he said. "A man who spit at the sky should not be surprised when rain falls on his face." But Obidike, calm as dawn, replied, "And a man who buries his head in the sand should not be surprised when the tide sweeps him away." Ah! Fire made thunder. Truth was born. The villagers gasped because they saw in Obidike not just a son, but a mirror. And here lies the lesson. When you speak truth to power, do not do it in arrogance. Do it in light. Because truth is not a weapon to destroy. It's a torch to guide. Ezenna's eyes softened. The torches flickered. The ancestors listened. The old ways trembled and began to change. The drumbeat struck once, loud, final, the sound of a world shifting. That night, something in Umueke was reborn. The people realized that death should not be the price of honor, and that living wisely is the truest sacrifice of all. Obidike had not just saved his father, he had awakened his people. And that, my friend, is the greatest battle of every generation. To rescue the living from the prison of tradition without burning the bridge of heritage. As the flame dance higher, one truth remains clear. Sometimes it takes the courage of one voice to save 1,000 souls from silence. So what can we learn from this? Here are a few truths to carry from this fire. Number one, question with wisdom. Don't attack tradition. Ask it what still serves humanity and what doesn't. Number two, lead with love. Obidike spoke fiercely, but for love of his father, not pride. Change that isn't rooted in love will destroy what it means to heal. Number three, listen before you lead. Even Ezenna paused to hear his son, because leadership is not domination, it is discernment. Number four, be the bridge. You can honor your ancestors and still create new ways for your children. Wisdom is not rebellion, it is revolution. Remember, even the river changes course to find the sea. Now let's talk about what this truly means for your journey. We live in a world where old systems still sit on the thrones of yesterday. But like Obidike, you must find your courage to speak when silence becomes sin. Tradition is not the enemy here. Fear is. Change is not betrayal. Stagnation is. If Obidike could stand before the staff of a Dibia and speak truth, then what is stopping you from confronting the old ways in your own life? The habits, the excuses, the lies you inherited without questioning. The time has come to carve a new path, not by destroying your root, but by watering them with wisdom. For a tree that refuses to grow taller will soon be swallowed by the forest. The world awaits your voice. If this story stirred your spirit, don't let it fade like smoke. Click like, share this message, follow and subscribe to this channel so you can walk with us as we uncover more tales that awaken the soul. And follow our Facebook page and make sure Galago Speaks. Tell me in the comments, what is one tradition belief or mindset in your life that you are ready to challenge? And what new truth will you replace with it? And if you want to experience the full fire of this story, get your copy of Death and the Warrior Heir by Mecha Ogalago, which is me. Because sometimes the story we read is the mirror we need. But before you leave, I have one final challenge for you. The next time you stand at the edge of choice, between fear and truth, between the old and new, remember this: the ancestors light the fire, but it is your duty to keep it burning in the right direction. Don't let your silence bury your destiny. Don't let it has always been this way be the tombstone on your potential. For the world does not remember those who obey the rules. It remembers those who rewrote them with wisdom and courage. Be like Obidike, the heir who dared to live while others were dying in the name of honor. May your voice be steady, your courage unbroken, and your fire eternal. Until we meet again, keep your heart open, your spirit awake, and your mirror clear. Thank you for watching this video, and I believe you have learned a lot from this video. If you have learned a lot, don't hesitate to share it. Make it go viral so that people will understand the story of Obidike and the Death and Warrior Heir. Also, get the copy of this my book so that you read and know the full story. Thank you for watching, and please, God bless you.